Welcome to Kolorflow Conversations, where we flow freely, speak boldly, and connect colorfully. I am you, Keisha, and this is
Takesha.
You ready?
Yeah.
Hey, and we welcome you to our girl chat.
Yeah, welcome.
Well, we already been chatting.
A little.
Yeah, but not. I guess not nothing
Not
important.
like our normal. Sometimes it'd be chatty.
Yeah, but how are you?
I'm wonderful.
You got all these beautiful flowers for your birthday.
Yes, I feel like I have a florist shop. Shout out to the cousins. Because I love these.
Do you tell people you like flowers?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because I don't remember you telling me. I just know that's why I like to give you. But you do tell people you like flowers.
Mm-hmm.
When you dated men, did you tell them that?
I don't think I've dated men.
Here we go. Okay.
I think I messed around with little boys.
Wow.
I have one that I know for sure. He gave me flowers regularly. He had them sent to my job.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All the time?
All the time.
So when you dated these little boys, you didn't tell them things that you liked?
No, I was hanging out with little boys. I wasn't dating.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep, friend.
Yeah.
That we get to this age and it's like you realize that.
I think I knew it all along.
Really?
I don't think it was a realization. I think I knew it all along. I just don't think that I knew my worth. I knew what I was doing. It was never like, I don't know. I don't want to use the word secret, but I was aware. It was just, I didn't know my worth.
You know, I was reading something or watching something the other day, and it was like we really need to do a deep dive into successful, really great women who got things going for themselves that date below their means or whatever. And like when you look at even celebrities, women that got things going for them, and and I was like, you gotta realize these people are just regular people too. But and I remember on the episode before you talked about how you would like see the lotus in people, and that would be you saw the good in everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I never did that. So you receiving these flowers, I'm like, you get a lot of love from friends.
I do. I get an extreme amount of love from friends. When we had the sister circle last week, we were talking about that. And one of the girls was just like, your friends really do show up for you. And I was just like, they do. And that's when I was just like, I have friends that date back to daycare. I think I mentioned that to you. Like, and that's why I was just like, you know, I've always struggled with the people who have a lot of friends or the people who don't have a lot of friends. I just think it's your character.
Yeah.
I think everything boils down to your character. I don't think because a woman doesn't have a bunch of friends doesn't mean that she doesn't have a good character, or a woman that has one or two character is different. I just think it comes down to an individuality.
Yeah.
And I also believe that, like, now looking back, that guys probably placed certain people in my life just for certain situations.
You know, I think I have I think you have a great group of friends.
I have a vast amount of friends.
You have a vast amount.
And they're good, especially my inner circle, but even the extended and when I say that, I mean like the ones who I don't necessarily talk to weekly, you know, that I know now that I could still pick up and they're going to show up. And on my birthday, they go show up.
I thought about that because I saw like pictures of like how your birthday was and how you got flowers and you get so much love. And now I start thinking about, I think I got friends, but I can't say I have friends like that. You know what I'm saying?
I'm truly blessed because I don't know very many people who has friends like that. And I say that too, like, it doesn't go unnoticed. I love that for me, and I love all of them, but I also think that most of my friends who don't have that, they have a family.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So God's placed my friends in my life in lieu of my family, because like we had conversations before, I didn't grow up with cousins in my same age group.
Yeah.
So I got my love in a different form. I think that's where it comes from.
Surprisingly, I got family like that, but we don't all talk all the time or see each other often. But I know the love is there, and maybe that's the difference too, that I don't have to see them because we grew up like
I think the
sisters
same
and
thing with my friends too. Like before this, you was always my friend, but I never saw you.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like I have friends like that too. And then I have the ones who are regulars in my life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you had a great birthday. I can't
I
see
did. And that's why
what's gonna happen with mine.
now, especially like me knowing my worth, that I could never hang out with a boy like how I used to hang out with boys. I could never.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because even outside of the things that my friends do for me, like internal, I know my worth. I know that if I'm pouring into your cup, you need to pour into mine. Like I understand energy as a currency, where before I was just giving away my energy, being depleted because nobody was giving me anything back on what I needed. So now that I understand the balance and the pouring and the receiving, and to be a fountain, like I know what it takes.
Yeah. Same, friend. Same. I can't hang out with just, and I sent you a text yesterday. I was like, I even have a hard time because of where I am spiritually. The surface level conversations, how they start off with somebody is trying to approach me. I don't know how to reply back to them in a way, and not coming at me like, hey baby, you look good, just, and even in a respectful way. I just be want to know, are you fully surrendered to God? Because where I am, I don't even know if I can even talk to you in a, it's hard for me, you know what I'm saying? Like I struggled with how to have this conversation. You know what I mean? And not that I want to seem like I'm better than anybody. I'm better for me. But I struggle with the conversation of, are you dating? Are you married? I'm like,
Yeah, I told you I delete. I've only received one ever, but I straight deleted it. Like
Takesha,
more delete. Because it's just I don't.
What did they say that made you?
I don't know what he said.
Oh, he did.
I didn't open it. Replying was never an option for me. It was just like, oh yeah, no, delete.
Really?
Because you just saw, to me, I could be wrong, and I know me and our visuals, and I know but to me, it was just like, are you lusting after me?
Oh yeah.
And that's just how I view it.
Yeah.
So I know the way I'm set up, I'm never going to talk to anybody coming in my DM. It's just not even an option for me. I'm never going to go online dating. It's really, I'm going to have to meet you out while I'm in the world and see how you approach me, and see what your tone is, see the vibe that I pick up, that sliding in my DM.
So somebody coming in your DM, you automatically think that, or
I'm automatically judging them. I'm being honest. Like, we listen, we don't judge. I'm automatically judging them, because it's just like, why are you here? What's the
difference with them doing that? I know what you're saying. I kind of know what you're saying. What the difference is, if they come to you in person, you can feel their energy.
I can feel their energy. I can pick up on it. Online, I can't.
Yeah.
So to me, the automatic intention is, if you're like, hey, how you're doing? I saw your pictures. You look nice, or I want to get to know you. Why?
Yeah.
What about me makes you want to get to know me when all I posted on my Facebook are prayers? I ain't posting nothing about me.
Yeah.
So what you going to know? How to pray? Schedule an appointment. So slide over, delete. Slide over, more, delete.
Well, see, I guess I struggle with that because I don't really go a lot of places.
I don't either. But for me, if this is something for me, he finds me. So I don't need to go and worry about where I'm going.
Come on,
because
preach, girl.
I could just be right at the library and he'd be like, oh,
yeah,
you're checking out that book about animals? You're into animals? I am too. You want to go bird watching? Cool, let's go. Boom.
Maybe that's why I struggle with the conversation then. Because I'm like, what do you want? I'm kind of like, what do you want? Like,
yeah. I don't know, like for me, because it's just like, my first thing isn't like, have you surrendered to God? My first thing is, why are you here?
Yeah. And I guess my thing is surrender to God, because the conversation from the get-go is going to bother me, because I'm going to be able to tell like what type of person, I guess I can tell what type of personality where you coming from. And I'm like,
and see, to me, that still wouldn't, because I'm going to be like, I'm just going to shut it down. I shut down all those conversations real quick. I get mute. I don't have no problems with getting mute.
Yeah. I see that. I can see that.
And shifting it.
It's a struggle when you realize that you was just hanging out with people before, even if you was married. I was just hanging out.
Yeah, I just been hanging out. I didn't date.
Yeah, because I realize now, like, my worth and how I feel now on the inside is like,
let me add, I think I dated 2 people, my baby daddy included. I ain't flirting with you though, even though I be flirting.
He gonna look at this and be like, yeah, let me call her. Oh God. Well, I mean, I get it. And that's a lesson that, women and men have to learn in dating. Like, you know how he has to approach you, how he has to find you. And it don't matter if you're taking a walk in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I feel that.
It's in your conversation and what you say, because just straight up, you beautiful, how can I get to know you better, is just, that's to me.
Yeah, and I struggle with that. I'll be like, I know my smile nice. I mean, I don't
tell me something.
Yeah, I don't know, because I go back and forth where we talked about this, where I could take it or leave it when it comes to relationship or marriage again or not. But when I am approached, I do wonder, like, okay, God, like, do you have something or someone for me that, I don't believe it's his will for anyone to be alone, but that's just me. I know people who've been single all their lives and probably leave this earth with no one, but that's just me. I believe that there's a lesson in it for me.
And see, when I look at that, I believe that it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be a romantic relationship.
Okay.
Because I don't look at like being alone, that I'm alone because I don't have a man.
Yeah.
Because, and I remember one of my mother's friends, she desired to be in a relationship. Like, that was her greatest desire. And she left here without that ever happening.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, I don't necessarily view it like that. I just view it as that he places the people that you need that can love on you, because intimacy ain't supposed to come unless you married anyway.
Yeah.
So if we forever stuck to that, because that'd be another thing. It'd be like, so you can just slide right on out here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
my
5
thing,
years
right?
in.
Yeah.
I'm not breaking that just for something frivolous.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah, and that's the same way I feel now. I'm I don't know. It's a year and a half, maybe going on a year and a half in, and I definitely don't have no desire to break it. I'm not breaking it. So when somebody approached me, I'm like, I'm instantly like, I'm like, what do you want? But I'm also asking God, because I've always been the relationship girl. Like, is it a lesson for me to know how to do it properly now? You know what I mean? Like, if I do get in a relationship now, it would be very different. And am I supposed to know how to do it properly now? Whereas before, it was chaos and confusion. So, I don't want chaos and confusion. And my life is so peaceful now.
So let me ask you this, back to when you were saying they were talking about the women. What were they saying? Like, what is dating down? What does that mean? Because I feel like, and I've always been, in a position where I've had a job that paid a pretty decent salary. So, and I remember you saying to me once before, like, about that, like, well, you might meet somebody that makes less than you. So for me, it's just like, when they talk about that, what does dating down look like?
When I made that comment to you was before we are where we are now. Dating down to me does not look like less money. Dating down now means somebody who doesn't have the integrity and character that you have. So let's say,
for me, let me add my disclosure. Dating down does mean less money. That's number one. Money,
not is, just money.
Money is money, money, money. I think it might be money, then integrity on my list.
I said that
if you ain't got no money, don't even come to me with your great character.
The only time you get earthly is when we talking about money with a man. Yes. Oh my God.
I'm all in the world. All in it. Any other time I be as spiritual as I can be, trying to break it down, give you support and evidence and everything I can.
No, but integrity wise, because
that's why I'm single.
Yeah. Well, integrity wise, character. And I think I can't remember who it was. I think it was like Deion Sanders' daughter. She come from this great family. Her father is this really encouraging, motivational man. Her brothers are doing well. And you didn't hear a lot about the daughters, but she starts dating Jacquees, the singer.
Mm-hmm.
And she get pregnant by him. He got his personality seems completely opposite of her family. And people are like, why are you dating this dude? He's causing all kind of chaos. You got to deal with other females. You got to do this. And it's like she can't let it go. It's a. Once you get the sexual soul ties, though, it's hard. Throw a baby in there, and it's extra hard. So that's one example of, they like he had money, but the character wise of how I know her father probably pour into her and encourage her and say, you don't have to be with somebody that is going to make you want to crash out and go crazy and argue back and forth on social media and whatever. We know her father has poured into her. So that's one of the examples I know of a celebrity like person. But we know like everyday women and men. Men who probably, because I ain't just talking about women, but I talk about women because I am a woman. Mm-hmm. We see everyday women in our life who we wonder, now why is she with him? She could be like a lawyer and he could just be a street pharmacist. And you're like, why are you?
I don't think I've ever questioned anybody's choices on who they like. I take that back. But yeah, I have. Mm-hmm. I'm having a very vivid visual right now. Like, okay, yeah, sorry about that. Yep, especially when you just used that example. Like, like street pharmacists. Okay, yeah. I want to say this though, because my dad never verbally poured into me. Mm-hmm. And I'm learning that a lot of things that falls into train up a child is not necessarily the verbal communication.
Absolutely.
Because when my dad came over here the other day, when I got back from my trip, I still get presents from my dad. Mm-hmm. So when he came over here with my beautiful card and everything, and we're sitting there and we're talking, I was just like, how did I even ever hang out with boys? I was just like, this is what I want. And I know growing up, my dad has some faults. Everybody do. Yeah. He's not, he's never been perfect as a husband or as a dad. But now I see it differently. And I was looking at him and, I've been researching his masculine and feminine qualities. I'm like, my dad is the perfect balance of that.
Okay.
He's the perfect balance of that for me.
Okay.
I don't know how he show up, you know what I'm saying, for my sister, but for me, because when I need that nurturing, he gives it to me. It's not as deep, or it doesn't feel like my mom, because as women, that's our innate ability, I feel.
Yeah.
But he does know how to soften up the situation for me when I feel like I'm breaking. But he also stands in his masculine power, where if anything happening in my life, I'm calling him.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. Like he my emergency contact across the board. If something happened, the doorknob loose, I'm gonna be like, Daddy, this happened. And then he gonna tell me what I already know. Well, you got the protection plan, call the people. Okay, but I'm calling you first to talk through everything. Like this is just him just us sitting there, he just exuded that. And I was just like, I need my man to make me feel safe.
Yeah, I get that.
In all areas. It's just not about being out the protect, but in all areas, mind, body, and soul.
I don't think when you say your father didn't verbally pour, I can relate to that because mine did not, but he was the example of taking care of us in every way. Like, and then when I think about why did I not let that be the standard for my dating life, you know, the way he did, people now in today's society will call my father a simp because my mother left this earth and she had never pumped gas. He literally took care of everything for her financially, physically, you know, mentally. I think she just didn't worry about, she didn't have to worry, like you say, I won't think about nothing. She had to worry about it. But verbally, he did not pour into me like I probably wish he would have now, because I probably needed to hear it, because seeing it, I think I automatically grew up thinking that, oh, when I meet somebody and they're nice, they're going to be like this. And they were not like that.
I don't think I had standards. I think it was just like you talk to me, hey, and it's probably why I'm sliding over deleting now, because it was just like, hey, what's your name? Keisha.
Yeah. And that
248-224-2337.
That's you know, old number. Don't think you could call that number and talk to her. That's an old number. That's the old number. But I can see
version of me.
I can definitely see why you like immediately delete a DM. I will read it to see how you cut the first couple of lines of your conversation, because I want to see if it, you know, triggers something from the past or how I was approaching the past and is now different.
And let me say this is just a little sidebar, because I'm just like a man. I'm visual too. And voices turn me on, number one. I can't hear your voice.
Yeah.
I'm a voice girl. Like, you can.
Yeah.
You like, so if I'm listening to this, we doing this back and forth, and then you call me and I don't like your voice, this is over.
Keisha, you said if I don't like your voice,
I can't do it. I got to talk to you for the rest of my life. And like, when I just said I can't do it, I kind of meant that in several different forms.
See, that's when she get earthly. That is when her surface get leveled. When you talking about a man that she gonna be with, she is like money, voice. Yes. You know, you better come with.
I need to look at him and be like, oh, okay, like I'm a visual just like a man. That's when I come out. Like,
yeah, they get the visual,
but
and there's nothing wrong with that.
I need that voice. I can't get that on that. So it's just like that come with the energy and everything. I want to see your aura. I want to know if when you walk in the room, do you command it?
Because I change the atmosphere when I walk in the room.
So I need to know if you're changing it.
Yeah. That all is important. That's all important. I mean, our father set the standard, and we didn't.
And we figured it out when we was 40.
50 years old.
Yeah, you're right. Because I can't even say 40, because we at the latter stages. Yeah. Like this at the end of the 40s.
Latter of the 40s, we figured it out. Which I pray that my children don't wait until their latter years to figure out stuff like this, which is why I have the conversations with them. I do, because I'll be like, I don't want you to have to go through when I think back, I'll be like, oh my it was wasted time, but it was a lesson.
Mm-hmm.
It literally was like so many lessons. And I think now, like, oh God, why did I waste that time? If I had just knew
Mm-hmm.
what I know now. But now that I know, the freedom in knowing.
Yeah.
And when I say, I don't think it's meant for anybody to be alone. There's no loneliness here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't lonely at all. Like, I have a very full life by myself. More full than I've ever felt before. So, but when I do get approached, I always go to God, like, let me ask you.
Mm-hmm.
What is this? Like, what? Because I know how I get good things get dangled in front of me because of what my weakness have been in the past. So I'm like, okay, let me ask you.
And that'd be the thing. Like, sometimes I feel like we definitely we live in a fast-paced world, but we need to move in slow motion.
Yeah, because my answer was this. When the question was asked, I don't know, I think it was something like, are you married or dating someone? And I said, no, I'm not married, and no, I'm not dating. I was like, oh, okay, well, I was wondering if you would be open to dating. And I said, no, I'm not open to dating, but I'm open to developing a friendship. That's it. Because if you can't be my friend, you can't be nothing. I'm not going to put stipulations like I'm about to date you, because I'm not going to give myself like, this is who I'm. No, I'm not doing that.
I can respect that big time, because I believe the best relationships come from taking time to learn one another and become friends.
Yeah. And I think that at the age we are now, some people can think that I'm older, let me, hurry up. And I'm not that person. I probably used to be that person, but now I'm like, no, I'm not really open to dating, but I'm open to developing a friendship.
I think that it's like, when I look at it, I feel like it can be intentional. Like, if someone desires to be married and they meet someone, it can be an intentional, but not like straight up in the beginning, because a lot of times how it go, it'd be like, okay, we went on 3 dates, now they in the bed, and now all the chaos starts.
Yeah.
And you didn't even get to know this person.
You ain't get to know them.
So I think that it needs to, even if, I don't even know if it's labeling it. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be dating and I'm just building a friendship. Because if my end game is I want a husband, then it gotta, you know what I'm saying? It gotta work that way. But I definitely feel like we need to move slow and, like you said, build the friendship first.
And that's what I did.
And that takes time to see a person's character.
That takes time.
I remember my favorite church, when I went to one of the Bible class little series. It was, he talked about that, like dating and seeing this person at different areas of their life. And one of the things that I remember stood out was, he said, you cannot marry a person if you've never seen them angry.
Yeah. I heard something similar, like you need to see them in multiple areas: angry, happy, sad, how they deal with grief.
Yep.
How they deal with, good news, bad news. And I was just like, man.
Yep. And that stuck out to me. And I was in a conversation with a young lady yesterday, and she's engaged, and she's just like, she really loves her fiance, but she's growing and he's not. And all of the things that he said he was going to do, he hasn't acted on any of those things. Mm-hmm. So she's just feeling like she's at a crossroad. And that's an uncomfortable place to be in when you love someone. But I have learned from loving people and being extremely empathetic, where sometimes I've known I've loved others more than myself.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say sometimes. I know that I've walked in that, where I'm at now, that's not even an option for me.
Absolutely.
So if I feel like you're stopping my growth, no matter how much I love you, I have to move forward.
Yeah, I'll let you go. Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you go because now I'm not going backwards. Yeah, I can relate to you saying you love people more than you love yourself. I remember like the things or thoughts that I've had for other people, that positions I would put myself in because of how much I love them or thought I loved them, and it was horrible for me.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm no longer saying no to myself for it to be a yes to somebody else.
Yeah.
I definitely believe there's a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can be like uncomfortable, like I didn't really want to do that, but you're gonna show up. But that to be primary, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it'd be like, oh, okay. And when I say that loosely. I don't like to leave the house. So it could be as simple as, getting up, going somewhere, knowing that my heart is there, but it'd be a struggle for me to leave the house.
Yeah.
So I don't mean it in the grand scheme of things, but something that at the core I'm saying no. I'm not going to say no to myself because I picked me. I love me. I'm happy with me for the first time in my entire life. It took me to walk into chapter 49 to say I can look in the mirror and be like, girl, I love you. Mm-hmm. You was cute. Look at you.
Isn't that a great feeling?
It is. It's
a great feeling.
And it's just weird because it's just like I thought that I loved me and was, all of these things, but I was just like, I was so broken in so many areas that I really didn't know what self-love truly meant. Yeah. Because self-love isn't me buying me this car, going to get my nails done and all that. Yeah. Like, no, it's literally me nurturing myself.
Yes.
Those activities are just a plus, a bonus.
They extra.
Yeah.
Because I barely do any of those things.
I love getting a pedicure, but for me to go and do that, it's just murderous. I hate getting up going. I don't even, how like people go and they enjoy it. I enjoy the outcome of my toes being polished, not by me polishing them.
Yeah, I don't. I want to get all that stuff done at home. I don't want to leave the house to do it. I don't want to leave the house to do it, but I used to think that loving myself was looking good,
eating good, like at the 5-star restaurant, spending $100 on the meal.
Now, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy all of that.
Those are still requirements.
Still a requirement.
But it doesn't equate to I love myself.
Because there's plenty of people who do those things and they don't love themselves.
Yeah.
That's still a requirement. I still very much enjoy it. But now that I really know the meaning of loving myself, and examples of that is not rushing into stuff. Feeling like, oh, I got to do this, or I got to have this person, or I got to, I got to prove something to anybody. I don't be trying to prove nothing to nobody, to God, except to God. I don't be trying to prove nothing to know these all y'all regular. I don't have to prove anything. And I used to feel like I wanted that people pleasing we always talk about. Mm-hmm. That's so gone. I'm like, that's part of loving myself. Not being a people pleaser.
Yeah.
Not feeling like I have to. Yeah. Not feel like I have to have acceptance from people on anything, because I don't. No. People try to give their opinions on things, and I just be like, and sometimes people will do things to try and make you go back and forth with them, and I don't do that no more, because part of loving myself is knowing on the inside of what's right for me and what God wants me to do. So I'm thankful for that. So yeah, girl,
I struggle with the back and forth type of things, because it's just like, why can't we just respect, you know what I'm saying? Have a conversation, and it don't be like you need to see my way. Like, because if you're not telling me 1 + 1 is 2, I don't know if I like outside of mathematics. I feel like sometimes that's the only thing I believe is concrete. And then I be questioning that, because who came up with these numbers, and who came up with 1 + 1 equal 2? Like, that's how my brain be getting. It be, it go overboard.
That trying to see things my way.
My way.
I don't go back and forth. I just be like, okay.
I don't even want you to see it my way. I'll just tell you my opinion. You take what, and that's my whole policy. You take what resonates, leave the rest.
That's true.
Take what resonates,
I
leave
mean,
the rest.
Takesha,
And then sometimes later on down the line, there's some things that I've heard that it'd be like, now I get it. So now I'm pulling it into my beliefs.
yeah.
But life is nothing but your perspective.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I mean, I don't think that people even understand that the Bible, you know, each book was written by somebody different. And it was their own version of what happened during that time.
I'll tell you, I remember I told you, I was just like, I look at the Bible as a book of journals.
And that from the beginning, God gave us a choice to do things. Mm-hmm. He did command, love one another, love me, believe in me. But everything else in our life,
it's free will.
It's free will.
And how you gonna use yours?
Yeah, and how you gonna use it now? If you choose to use it the right way, then he's happy and he's glad, and you serving him. If you choose to do it a different way, then it's like.
And the thing of that too, what I think about is, I'm not gonna judge you on what your right way is. Mm-hmm. Because if you're not committing, you know what I'm saying, the things that we know in our core are quote unquote bad, like a murder, you know, and I could be murderous if you coming for my kid. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I'm not about to judge nobody in their decisions, because I don't know what God is telling you to do. Because I know the way he talked to me, it's not the way he talked to you. Our divine instructions are not the same. And I'm not going by what, and I ain't trying to offend nobody, I'm not going by what anybody else taught me. This is why I'm studying the word for myself and to get my own understanding and what resonates in my spirit when I feel like, oh, Spirit is talking to me. God is on me heavy. This is right. Mm-hmm. And when I'm wrong, I have no problems with being wrong and standing and being convicted. Yeah. Some people don't want to be in a place of learning. And my devotion today was Proverbs 27. Iron sharpens iron. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You need to be in a place of learning. And again, take what resonates, leave what don't. But the learning can sometimes come from people who you don't think is in a position to teach you.
Okay. It's for real. I'm grateful that I have become a person of accountability. So I stand in conviction as well when I do something wrong, and I take accountability for it no matter what it is. Anything. Same. You know what I'm saying? Any little thing. I think I've told you little stuff like, this is not even something that's like real big, mm-hmm. but it bothered my spirit. And, you know, I don't know if it's something that'd be wrong or not, but I'll ask him to forgive me if it is, because I'm not sure if it is. But I'll stand in conviction. But the way that my relationship is with him now, I ain't going back and forth with nobody.
Yeah. I'm not going back I ain't going back and forth with you.
I'm not going back and forth. I read and I get clarity. And when I don't understand, I ask for clarity. And even if I don't get it immediately, I'll wait on that clarity
before I make my next move. Period.
Because I believe he will give it to me, because he knows that's what I am asking. That's what I need. So, and that clarity could come from anybody, anywhere, any form. You know,
it's not always any form.
It could be
the whole universe is his to use.
Yes. And I could be at work, and it could be a regular conversation of me talking to somebody, and they'll say something, and I'll be like, oh. And it could be something not even about God or spiritual, and I'll be like, I believe he done gave me my answer.
Yes, because it don't necessarily have to come with somebody spitting a scripture back at you.
Yeah, and you know, so I've learned that he could give it to me in any form. Just like when I sent you the thing yesterday, you was like, and I didn't even notice the 333, the time on there, and I was like, okay, so he want me to go to him about this and ask him, what is it you want me to do with this? Or, I'm like, and I ain't got no answer yet, but I believe that it's going to come. And I'm like, he give me clarity on everything. That's why I feel free.
Let me tell you about my day yesterday. And I think I started writing about this because you know how I have my celebrity crush. So I'm listening to the album that I realized that it was like I've listened to this for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like I really like deep dived into it yesterday. And I was just like, because one of the songs came out and I was just like imagining us jamming together, and I stopped myself in the tracks because I was just like, you're crazy. So it made me like really analyze the whole situation. And when I just like stepped back and I was really looked at it, I was just like, okay, if you've been listening to these lyrics for this long period of time, what is it doing to your brain? Because it's like you are what you eat. It's more than just this is the nutrition. This is what I'm nurturing myself. I'm feeding myself so many different levels of toxic. So I came to the conclusion. I was just like, okay, I got to shift away from that, which breaks my heart because it be my music and I think it's getting me through my day, but it's really messing with my mentals. So I say that to say, like, typically he's all over my For Explore page, whatever it's called, on Instagram. Do you know at 333, I'm going to show you a screenshot of it. When I got on there yesterday, it was like all zen.
Really?
It changed. True story. And it was, I can't remember, but one had a phrase on it. It was explore some, but it was like a meditation, like the moon and just water and mountains, nature. And
I know your Explore page have been this person for a long time.
For years.
Wow.
So I was just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't believe in coincidences. And if the universe is here somewhere, there was possibly some glitch in the system that really coincided where I was. That was my reminder. Like, do not fall back into that path.
Yeah.
You need to pay attention to those frequencies that you're listening to, especially if your mind can't separate reality from fantasy.
Yeah.
Because I've been living in the fantasy world because I'm just like, your character does not align
with who but like we were saying, you see something
I see different. What's in the inside, and I hear those parts and I want to nurture it, and that's the part that I fall in love with. But that ain't the part. First of all, I don't know you as a person, but the persona that I see as a person, that's not the part that you're revealing to the world.
Yeah. And
I want to see people, because this was a part of me learning to love myself, is to not see the potential or to not see the vision that God may have put in me as your healed version, unless you're a paying client. And I'm just being real, because I get these things and I see them. People may say whatever, but it happens. And then I start nurturing that potential, and that person may never be at the point where they want to walk into it, and I'm depleting myself, leaving myself empty, and I'm never doing that again.
And the example of that is, as your friend, I supported you. It wasn't my place to say that character doesn't fit you. That character is, you know what I'm saying? That's not for you. You shouldn't, I was like, okay, until the clarity came to you.
Like, you cannot look at the potential.
You can't look at the potential.
So you got to look at what it is. And that was just my reminder across the board. Because think about the different people that I've hung out with.
Yeah.
The potential.
Yeah. That's probably still the same.
Yeah. Because remember the one you was just like, well, I know he'll do whatever you want, because we was looking at the potential. But what he was showing me at that point in time was not that.
Was not that. He showed signs.
Yes, and that'd be the thing. I can't look at the signs. I need to look at what's factual and what's happening. I can't. We cannot move forward on hopes and dreams, women.
Yeah.
We cannot.
We can't.
And we get that where we start dating the fantasy in our head that we build.
And think you can save them or change
them. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't. You
cannot. They have to make that conscious decision. And that's why sometimes when they are better for other women, because they've decided to work on their own character. I decided to work on my own character, so I'm going to be better for the next man that comes.
Same. Because
I'm better for everybody that come into my life at this point.
Yeah. Absolutely.
This is why my flowers look like how they look.
Absolutely.
Chosen for me.
Yeah.
The people in my life are going to be chosen by God for me.
I don't believe that where I am now, you know, I don't think about people of the past in that way, like I missed out on something. I believe that whoever they're with, they're meant to be there, and I'm okay with that, because where I am and how I feel on the inside and how I know I love myself and what he got for me, whether it's whatever it is, job, money, car, man, flowers, garden, what it could be, the smallest, biggest thing or littlest thing. I am happy with what.
Yes, because I'm waiting on a hammock, Jesus. I want to sit in my backyard in a hammock.
And that's the joy that we get in, like, knowing, like, okay, it's always about, we always thought that the blessing was these big things. And it's not. It's like, I get joy. I came in today and my friend gave me a necklace. And inside of it, I was like, is that a mustard seed? And she said, yes. And I was like, man, y'all don't know how good it made me feel, how great it made me feel, because when my faith is so strong, that seeing this small and knowing that he said you just gotta have a little bit this small, it's a mustard seed in here. Y'all can't see it, but it's so tiny. But if your faith is just that small, like the abundance that he done gave us this far, for us to feel how we are and for us to live the way we live, I'm like, I'm grateful for that. If he don't do anything else for me, I'm good.
Yeah.
If he don't do
for the first time in my entire life, I'm grateful for just the air, because I told you, like, how you wake up and tell God, thank you for another day. I wake up and be like, for real. I would literally open my eyes and be like, for real. But now I'm like, okay, like, I'm excited. I have joy. I finally know what that joy in the morning means, because I have that now.
Yeah.
And I still struggle. Like, life isn't like how I want it to be. You know, there's still really big things happening in my life that I'm like, WTF. But I have joy and I have peace now, because I have that mustard seed.
Do you have one?
Mm-mm.
You didn't get one for yourself?
No, I didn't get one for myself, because I literally have mustard seeds everywhere around my house in cups.
Do you?
Yes.
Y'all don't be understanding.
I'll be having them everywhere, like visuals. Like,
you got them all around the house?
Yes.
Wow.
In little cups.
Wow.
You know, the little, like, you take the little communion cups?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're my mustard seed cups.
And when you see them, it's a reminder. I got it. I get it. Yeah.
And that's just like the crystals. When people talk about this, they all represent something. And for me, it's a reminder of God's provisions over my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm protected.
We don't argue about crystals no more.
No.
You know, it's just
no, but it's just like they're remind. Do I believe that they work and have energetic properties? Yeah. But to me, they're my reminders. Like, when I look at them, it's just like my visual, because I'm a visual person. These are what I need. Like, stand on that.
Yeah. I mean,
seeing these flowers and literally watching this made me think, like, okay, I'm blooming. I am getting ready to step into the next season of my life. When we get past in April and we really hit spring for real, my life is never going to look like how it did this winter. This winter, I was in one of the darkest places of my life.
Yeah.
My life is never going to look like that again.
And the fact that you speaking that, Like, there's power in your words.
Yeah, it's never going to look like that again. I may have some tough days, but I'm equipped to get through them.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm going to have my mustard seed, and it's going to be more than just me looking at it, because every single thing that has brought me down, I've gotten out of it. Do I still struggle with not having my mom? Absolutely. But do I understand now what it's just like her soul lives on? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And do I understand that we come here to leave? Yeah. So grieving and mourning is about life in general, and just learning how to get through that.
I understanding that we come here to leave, it made me understand more so what my role was as a parent. That it's for me to teach them how to live in this world and build a relationship with God. Because living in this world and doing that is battles. Um, the other day, I went on Instagram, and I'm not on Instagram a lot. I went on there, and Metro Detroit News came up, and it was a story about somebody in death. And I went to the comments, and the first comment I saw was something that my son made, and he made a joke about it. Not about. He made a joke in the comments, and people laugh. They're young, and I immediately said in the comment first, "You need to delete this. This is nothing to joke about." Then I text him, because I saw it. You know how we be up anytime.
Mm-hmm.
I text him and I said, "God would not be pleased with your comment." I said, "You need to read it and pray and talk to him, get some clarity on it, and do what's right." And when he saw it, he texted me the next morning and was like, "I deleted it and I prayed and asked God and talked to God about it." And we ain't talked about it since. My reason for being here, I had these children. I know I'm going to leave here. It's for me to teach them the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't for us to just be down here having fun.
Right. Right.
Because one day they going to leave here, and they got to give these lessons to their children or people who come in underneath them. So I'm like, oh, life done been all, let's go and have fun, or let's go on this vacation, let's buy these clothes, or let's do this, and you teach them how to do stuff around the house. But I'm like, no, I have to teach them how to have the right heart. And I know he didn't come from a place of,
it wasn't malicious.
It wasn't
intent.
malicious.
Yeah.
It wasn't malicious at all. But I was like, you have to watch those things that's not even malicious, and what you say and what you do. And he immediately, when he read it, was like, I deleted it, and I prayed about it. Because sometimes you gotta teach that character. Like we said, talking about our fathers pouring into us. I verbally have to teach you. I have to do better than what, or not better, but just different from what I learned. So yeah, I'm like, these lessons that we learning, where I am now in my walk, like, man, I'm joyful every day. Because even that, I didn't hold the feeling of being disappointed or mad at him. It was like, once he's acknowledged it and he acknowledged God in it, we ain't talk about it no more.
I commend you for that. And that is a wonderful blessing, because I know I've seen my son post some things, and I done told him, and then he done shut the whole page down, then don't want to talk to me, and then be mad, but I waited later in life, because I had him in the teen early years. So now it's just like, to bring that type of in, and to know the shift is sometimes that that headstrongness, but I still pray and work through that. And I'm sure some parents out here that can relate to that, because some of us, I have a lot of friends in my age group that have adult children, like deep 30s adult kids. So it's just like we didn't have those tools like we do now.
Yeah.
And some kids, even younger, they're not always open to get, what do I want to say? I don't want to say information, but to receive from their parents.
They're not.
So that's definitely, like, I love that for y'all. And I mean that sincerely, because that is a blessing, because it's a lot of times, kids think that their parents don't know what they talking about when they do.
Yeah.
And sometimes as parents, you really don't know how to approach them, or you think that you have a certain kind of relationship where it's open, and then you find out like it's not. Parenting is a struggle, but we're coming on the close and we're not going to get into that.
Because that would be a whole nother
conversation. Yes.
Yeah, but
I think having God at the center and the core is very important, because I pray over my son all the time, my covering over him, that he makes wise choices.
Yeah.
Because that's my prayer for myself.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I know it all. Every day I'm learning something new, and I'm just like, dang. Like I said, it took me this long to realize, like, what I was feeding my brain. I was nurturing myself toxic.
Yeah. But
I still love that man voice. And I still can't wait to meet him in person. It's just gonna have to be different. We gonna stop.
We're gonna stop. But now that you are where the revelation came for you about that,
it'll be different.
Now you're gonna meet him.
Lord, is that gonna be the test?
Now, yeah,
but I'm prepared, because
it's not like he's that far in proximity.
This is true. From you. This is true.
It's just, you know what I'm saying?
This is very true.
He's not that far in proximity. It just hasn't it ain't like it could not have happened.
This is very true.
So now that you had this revelation of, okay, this part of it, now you're gonna meet him. So that's probably gonna be your test on, is you're gonna be like, I love you. I can't wait to hear that story. Well, look, the celebrity crush I had disappointed the whole world this week. So
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I know, because I don't never talk about my celebrity crush. So I'm gonna tell you.
You see, I'll be coming over here and I'll be oversharing, because I'm just already transparent as it is. Because one of my friends recently told me, like, that's my celebrity crush. I'm like, I've been telling y'all my celebrity crush for 20 years now. Y'all got celebrity crushes too.
I think that your celebrity crush was just deeper than ours, because
because I'm healing his soul in my head. Like, I hear this and I'll be like, oh, I just want to talk to you about this, and we just work through this. Like, I'll be having whole counseling sessions on his lyrics.
On that note, we are going to thank you for the conversation, because you was crazy.
Anytime. Don't try to slide in my DM.
Don't slide in her DM, because she's gonna be like, no.
What your voice is? Send a voice message.
But now that y'all know, send a voice. Don't send a message. Send a voice note.
If I get a voice note, Keisha, okay, let's start.
I am welcome. I am inviting y'all to send her a voice note, because she wants to hear y'all voices. Okay, do not send her no regular DM. She gonna delete it. Okay, so Mr. Sir who sent it, you might want to go back and send a voice note.
No, my ass wasn't there. Don't come back. I'm a visual too. Just like you looked at me and thought I looked good, I looked at you and didn't think that.
Listen, we want y'all to like, listen, subscribe, share. Let us know what y'all think in the comments, because this was straight up girl chat. We let y'all in on a lot today.
It was.
We'll see y'all next week.